Hey, you guys, I want to get on here because I saw a couple of videos and the news on them sounds crazy because when you're negotiating with crazy people, I've said this before, things are going to look crazy. I mean, I said it in comments. Things are going to look crazy because you're dealing with crazy people. And if you piece things together, I posted a couple of things. And not only that, when you got to think Bible, and the Bible says that pride comes before a fall. Lots of verses about pride, proud people talking that way, and God annihilates them. Okay, that's first and foremost. But along with that, we have all of the activity, crazy activity, confusing speech, negotiations, talks, activity. But you have to remember the minor things that aren't majored on. That, like, for instance, a couple of times I've heard that Trump is going to expel, banish, deport all of the Muslims. I heard somewhere that Europe is going to do that too. And look, Stormer just got thrown out. Now, I posted this video with a Dr. J, and before I posted that, it seems like after I posted that, all of a sudden Trump is saying, hey, everybody's got to get on board with this Abraham Accords. It seems like, okay? So let's pretend that didn't happen, okay? So what we have to work with here are things like everybody's catching on. There's all kinds of videos that are going around with the crazies saying, shoot Trump, assassinate this and that, and how we hate this, and we're Marxist, and we're socialists, and we're Islamists that are going to take over America. All these videos that they are spewing, the proof. They're, I'm sure, getting profiled. Along with all these Middle Eastern, like the two videos I watched, Shar TV and the Jewish guy. Oh, darn. How do I do this? Okay, so Sahar TV and... Sorry, I'm not organized, and I don't even know how to really explain some of this stuff that I'm thinking. And then Pesach Wolicki. Okay, those are the two today that I've seen about this new deal that Trump is going to release sanctions. And I've already commented on a couple on both those channels, but I rewatched Sahar TV, and I had to keep pausing to read all that what's being said. And I hear how the Iranians are talking because they're so delusional, you guys. That is, to me, this neon, brighter than neon flashing sign that God is setting them up for a fall. And Trump and Bibi already know it. They're impotent. It doesn't matter what they say. All they want is for these idiot fools to spew all this in public, on film, so that they can prove that they are criminals, so that when they get assassinated, all of the Middle East is going to be happy. Okay. And so when I rewatched Sahar TV, I realized why everyone's freaking out so badly and Trump is backstepping. Oh my gosh. I don't see it that way. And I stand by the comments I've made on both those, even though I rewatched Sahar and found out more information because I listened to it closer. But see, how it is to me is Iran is being a peacock, trying to be all big badass again, idiots. They're already impotent, okay? Everything, oh, we've got all of our war and everything is, we're going to blow up this and that, la, la, la. I don't care how many secret cells they've got. They're already profiled in America and all over. First of all. Second, I'm trying to piece all this in sentences, so I know how it goes in my mind, but anyway. So since that Dr. J was saying what he said, his analysis, and then all of a sudden, Trump starts saying, hey, wait, we got to make these Abraham Accords. Everyone who wants to join today, join it now. Join it now. You know what that tells me? First of all, that's confirmation. That's confirmation. It's like, first this guy, Dr. J, says that that's what Trump's doing. And that's like a 2-week-old video. And then the next day, Trump actually does what Dr. J said is what Trump's plan is. But what that tells me is that Trump is already cohorting with, I've already said this before, that those nations are being held hostage. But the leaders of Turkey, maybe Qatar, I don't know if they're just talking that way, but Turkey hates us, that leader guy. And Qatar, I don't know. Pakistan, I know, hates, Israel. And any of these countries that talk about a Palestinian state, non-negotiable. I already know that. Trump, you guys, where is the highest concentration of Jews in the United States? New York. Who's from New York? Trump. Who is rich? Who is a millionaires? The Jews and Trump. Don't you think Trump has been friends with the Jews over there in New York his whole life? Growed up with them, did business with them. He loves them. His daughter is married to one. And not just any old Jew, Kushner. I think his parents are billionaires, right? They're famous billionaires. So Trump doesn't want nothing happening to his city or his country. And he's trying to get this all cleaned up before, if he only has 2 years. That was his own sentence. He said, I think I probably only have 2 years. We got to get this done. Now, if he actually wins the midterms, which I think he will, it doesn't matter. He's going to stay with the 2 years and make sure all this is done in 2 years. So, yes, when he tells all the people, come on, get on board Abraham Accords right now, that is doing what all these YouTubers are doing, spewing their vitriol. It's revealing who is who. So that the good guys in the Middle East can get together and set those few Middle Eastern countries who are being antagonists, and they can eliminate them like they're being eliminated in Iran, like they've already been eliminated in Iran, except for the wild-ass donkey IRGC sect. All the other dictators are gone. And okay, so now we've got other dictators, which is Pakistan, Lebanon is iffy. Any of those Middle Easterners, countries that think Israel, like whoever he was showing as an example, whoever thinks Israel is the perpetrator and the instigator, they're gonna express that in the talks, Abrahamic Accords. Let's all get together, right? And they're negotiating, and this is going to take 60 days. 60 days. If Iran gets those sanctions of, what is it, $12 billion, they're never going to use it. They're not going to have time. Well, if they use it, it's just to keep, like, listen, when you guys are afraid that these countries are going to regroup and re-weapon and all this, that's really far-fetched because they're so degraded right now. That took years to get where they were. 47 years. Do you honestly think 60 days and they can rebuild from the rubble? I don't think so. I don't. And I don't say put my trust in Trump or Bibi, but what I put my trust in is what I am seeing is a miracle that we're even going after Iran in the first place. Trump is a businessman. Whatever Dr. J said about Jared Kushner, like, he's brilliant, something, and Trump is a businessman, okay? Do you not think they know about these terrorists that are ruining it for everybody over there in the Middle East who do want to get along and who aren't anti-Semitic? Okay? So just like the YouTubers, socialists, Marxists, anti-Semites, what are they? Not capitalists. They're just Islamic lovers. They're all going to get denaturalized and excised. They're going to get arrested. They're going to get thrown over the border. They're going to get rid of. Okay? For some reason, though, I mean, I don't sit around all day thinking about this, but occasionally I think about it. I don't know what has clicked with Europe, but Europe seems to be wanting to get all that out now. So something's going on there. Okay, there's some cohorting. And I forget what Dr. J said about Germany. He said Germany. Oh, I knew Germany was gone. I saw that a dentist in 2016 and the dental assistant was German, and I was talking to her, and she moved to United States because Germany was ruined. And she said they're all bums and the criminals, and that was way back in 2016 and 10 years ago. And she was already in the States for like 10 years. So it was gone like 20 years ago, probably. Well, anyway, so, and then somebody was saying, maybe it was, I didn't understand what Dr. J meant by Trump is going to go where the money is. Now, this is different than what the Americans did to Iran before Ayatollah Khomeini, when it was the Shah Reza, the dad Reza. When he was in, America wanted to do the nuclear program with Iran. Why did I bring this up again? But all that fell apart because he kind of got overthrown because he went away to get some treatment with cancer, I think. And he was sick, and it was probably too big for him anyway to deflect. And because if you read the history, America, what they did was, the reason, call him Papa Shah, Papa Reza, Prince Reza's dad. Okay, so Papa Reza had somehow somebody got overthrown or something, and they were in a democratic society over there in Iran. They got rid of Daddy Reza somehow. I don't know. It's probably not because they didn't like him. I couldn't find that history because Google doesn't understand what I'm trying to ask. And they only give me the 1979 bullshit. So um America did away with that honestly elected Democrat prime minister over there in Iran, and they found Papa Reza and they put him back in power over there in the 50s or whatever, okay? And because they wanted this nuclear deal because of greed. They were not honest with Papa Reza. They were just kind of handling him and playing because they wanted, some oil dominance. So anyway, but the way Trump is doing it, Trump is a businessman, yes, and it is all about money, but it's not that it's for the love of money like America was doing back then in the 50s. You know what I mean? But I don't know if you've read that history or found it, but it was what I was reading, what little I found. Yeah, whatever whoever that president was, they were being greedy and they weren't being totally honest and above board with Papa Reza. So he ended up, well, anyway, I think I even posted that. So, but now I took a detour. But now what Trump is doing, yes, he, like Dr. J said, it's about business, it's about money, it's about safety. This whole world is unsafe right now because of how these terrorists are overrunning the place. So it's a good thing. Trump is just trying to get it back to life, liberty, freedom, and the pursuit of happiness, right? A free world, a free country. And in order to do that, the Middle East has to be free. So yes, these Shiites are allowed to lie so that they can, but see, even now, yeah, they're allowed to lie, but Iran is so proud. They're saying, hey, well, they assassinated our leader, so we get to assassinate them right back. See, they're talking and talking and talking, which is going to get them eliminated, which is going to make the other Middle Eastern countries happier. They're already happy, except for the Turkey and the Pakistan and the Qatar. Those are just a few more that are next. Iran is the big dog. And the other ones are just small potatoes. But their numbers coming up. They're easy compared to Iran. Big old Iran. We conquer that. Pakistan's a piece of cake. Turkey, whatever. They can lie all they want, but it's too late. It's on film that they're Jew haters. They think, and it's all going to come out in these talks of 60 days. Meanwhile, yeah, if Iran is getting the $12 billion to rebuild what? Even if they are still, gonna be showing their ass okay, this is the whole crux of the matter. It doesn't matter how much they're regrouping. So just get that out of your pretty little head. Let them regroup till the cows come home with billions, trillions, quadruple millions of dollars. You know why? Because Trump and Bibi and God already know they're going down. They're going down. It doesn't matter how much they're going to accumulate and rebuild for the future because there is no future for them. So when all this is over, like the 60 days or whatever, and everybody's signed up, I don't think Iran, okay, so, and I was saying in a comment, when Trump says Iran and he's involving Iran and Iran and Iran, what he's really saying is that's code for the Reza Iran. The Reza Iran is what he's talking about. Now, if, yeah, these you say these papers are not worth, they're just paper. I get it. Yeah. Just because they signed a paper doesn't mean they're going to adhere to any of it. And Trump knows that, and that's why he doesn't care. He just wants them, like I made that post about warfare. When you, let me find it, when you are in warfare, you're allowed to lie so you can, sorry, what else? So you're allowed to lie. So yes, it's just a piece of paper. If they sign it, so what? Because when Reza comes in, he's going to sign another one, and they're going to rip up the other one because they're going to get rid of the guys that signed it. Because just because they're all going to be signing and regrouping and making negotiations and agreements and stipulations, and yeah, Israel's the bad guy and we hate Israel, and you got to promise us a Palestinian state. Don't you think Trump is already talking with, who's that other, UAE? Trump, all these people, the Middle Easterners who love Israel, and they hate these piranhas. They're playing along, you guys. It's like I keep saying, when you're dealing with a crazy person, you can't say to the crazy person, hey, look, Reza's going to take over, so can you get out? Can you get out so Reza can get here? Otherwise, we're going to kill you. How do you think that's going to work? How are we going to go in and kill him? We can't kill him now because they hide in the holes. And when you talk to a crazy like that, they're going to get mad. They're going to get livid. How dare you talk to me like that? They're going to start killing all the Iranians just because they're mad. You can't, it's like a hostage situation. When the guys are on the phone talking to the hostage taker, they want that hostage released alive. They want the hostage released. So they're talking crazy to the crazy hostage taker. Things they want to hear. Do you guys not ever see this? I've been seeing this the whole time. So, yes, Iran is the major hostage taker. And when you're dealing with that, because you want the hostages freed alive, you have to kind of do that. And he has to, and Trump isn't irrational, but the way he has to step and then back step, back, it looks crazy because he's dealing with effing crazy people. So he has to show them the stick, like Tusi was saying. He's got to whip them with the stick sometimes. He's harsh. He says, I want to blow you to kingdom come. Sometimes he uses the carrot. Sometimes he has to go back and forth. So that's why you see these crazy nutbag deals, like when you're dealing with a hostage taker. Sometimes you got to say, oh yeah, we're going to expunge the record. We're going to do this. We're going to let you have that. We're going to do this, this, and this. As soon as they release that hostage, they go, prison, bye-bye. Okay? This is how I see it, you guys. I am never faltering. Nothing scares me in this. You guys are getting scared. I guess I can see why, but I don't know how to explain that. The reason why is because you keep forgetting the first part. I can't emphasize that enough. You keep forgetting the first part, which is God put in a brilliant businessman who knows the art of the deal. God had him take on this snake. After 47 years, they're now impotent. Third miracle. You know more than I do to stack them up. And when this art of the deal, and then today, so I've been saying and commenting and posting about how, yeah, this is just crazy talk because you're dealing with a hostage, right? So I decided I'm going to look this up. Am I just delusional, making stuff up, or is this really in existence? And I did, and it is in existence. So I posted it, and they are saying exactly what I've been saying. It says, yes, this is a core principle of military deception. It's showing you everything Trump is doing right now. Fake agreements, fake talks, fake contracts, fake agreements. And all the while, they're running their mouth with a big flag. Running their mouth is a big flag saying, hey, look, I'm anti-Semitic. Put a bullseye on my head. Here I am. I'm anti-Semitic. Here's the bullseye. Right here. It tells you right here. It's because it exposes. It just exposes things. They don't say it exactly how I'm describing it. This masks their actual intentions and disguises. But anyway, you can read it. I posted it. I think it's four pictures. And you can Google your own little questions. Like you can Google, I just Googled the bare basics like lying. Is that admissible in war games? You know, when you're, however I worded it. And you can Google things like false treaties, false agreements, false this, false that. And that's what Iran has been doing all these years anyway. So Trump is just doing it right back to him. So when, yes, these weird missteps crop up, and this is the worst one by far, wouldn't you agree? Giving them some money, sanctions relief. I even made the comment, I'm like, I really don't think they deserve that. Because just because they're saying, well, we'll be peaceful. You're the one that started this shit, so that's why we had to sanction you in the first place. And now you're saying, we'll stop. So that makes you deserve that money back. That should be payment for all your damages you incurred against us, right? Why do we owe you back sanctions? I don't agree with that. But now that I saw the videos, these two, I see why he's doing that. It is gathering his troops together. Look, he extracted some from Poland and all these other places. It says that right here. Because of NATO being a shithead, he's taking some troops back. I wonder what he's going to do with all the extra troops he's taken back. For one thing, that's just this analysis. But this Middle Eastern, gonna talk it all out. The flaggers are gonna be exposed. Their true hearts. See, you gotta act like they're your friend. They're nuts. But if you act like they're your friends, well, I mean, they're gonna open up to you, right? But Iran is so proud and arrogant. They're sucking gravel right now, and they say they're on top and winning. They've been saying that. But this is really bad now. They're saying, oh, yeah, Trump he lost. He knows he's lost. So he's just crying and passed out on the couch, took a nap because we wore him down, by golly. We're so strong. They're this close to being gone, but Trump and America soldiers can't go into that big Iran and go dig through every hole and rip out every IRGC that's going to lie, take his headband off, put on some nice clothes and say, oh, I'm just an Iranian citizen. No. It's impossible. Unless God had a miracle. There's no way. You have to pull them all out Or when Rez is there and he's got his own cabinet people that are going to extract them all over time, they'll figure out who they are and where they are, and they're going to get rid of them. Because they're not going to have anything to really work with. They're going to move away probably, just like, was it Dr. J said that yeah, they move up to other different places when they're kicked out, right? So I'm not worried about that. I'm thinking about how next, I think this next step is, it looks like a crazy back step and a death sentence to Israel and to peace in the Middle East, but it's not. It's not. It is a way. Iran is always going to show their heart. They want to assassinate Trump. They want to assassinate Israel and Bibi and kill off all the Jews. And yeah, we need a Palestinian state and all this. They're open about it. But some of those countries, while they're negotiating with Iran, like the Pakistan and Turkey and all them, and that everyone's going to be, like this says, you have to negotiate with them so that you find out. And I said this months ago, when it's like, I keep going back to the hostage situation where we see it on TV, where they're negotiating with the hostage person. Oh, wait a minute. What was I saying? So anyway, yes, they have to, maybe I should just read it from the beginning. I'm just saying they learn more intel as they negotiate with them. I was saying that a long time ago. I'm like, when he has to keep going like this, he's learning more about them. I already knew that. But like I said, yesterday I decided, or today, I'm going to look up this type of thinking I have and see if it exists. Or am I just living in la la land? I mean, I got a pretty good imagination, but I mean, not all of it's true or possible, but it looks like it was. So yes, these negotiations with terrorists all along have been to gather intel. Just like nothing's being done about all these YouTubers spewing all this hate and demonic obsession with annihilating America. Nothing's being done. Yeah, it is behind the scenes because it's a covert operation. And bam, one of these days, they're all going to be gone. Well, same thing with this. It looks like they're getting off scot-free, but they're not. Iran is the biggest, isn't it the biggest geographical chunk of land? We got them pretty well subdued. Now, we got the best snipers in the world. I mean, we can get rid of pretty much anybody we want to. And when you have an Abrahamic Accords that a lot of them want the Jews, they like the Jews. Gaza is a thorn in their side. They hate Gaza. They don't want Gaza. They don't want them to have, that's going to be a paradise. They're going to get rid of all of them. And that has got plans. There's plans for that piece of land, okay? Whether the Jews want to get in cahoots with Trump and do something with it, or whether it's just Trump, or whether it's just the Jews, I don't know. But that's not staying their own state. Hell no. No, Trump has plans for that. Y'all were all talking about that a long time ago. Anyway, so that stuck with me. I know. So the UAE and some other people, they want all of this. And when everybody is together in the Abrahamic Accords, everyone's going to know who's who, which they already do anyway. But for some reason, Trump is giving them the illusion that they're being included, even their sociopathic, psychopathic, diabolical minds. Oh, but we love you anyway. Okay, yeah, whatever you want. You want to get rid of Israel? Okay, we'll do it. And they're not. They're gonna be in hell before they can even blink their eye, is how I feel. That's what I feel like is about to happen. I don't care if it takes 60 days or 6 days. I think this is what the plan is. And if there's any disgruntled arguments among Bibi and Trump, I think that's all planned. I just reposted a video. It's just fake, mind faking, trickery. I think the Middle Eastern, UAE is the only one I can think of. So I'll just say UAE. The UAE and whoever else over there, they hate Gaza. They hate Palestine. They don't want it to be free. It's been a thorn in their side. Now the UN, United Nothing, they've always been against Israel in unison because the Sunnis were always afraid of Iran, Shiites, because they, like Dr. J was explaining, Iran is Shiite, but yet you've got Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis are all Sunni. But because they're getting money from the Shiite in the Middle East, but they're all terrorists anyway, that need to go anyway, because they've been running Lebanon, Yemen maybe, Jordan, I don't know these countries, but they have been running roughshod, and those countries don't want them there. Lebanon doesn't want them there. Nobody wants terrorists, okay? Nobody. So when Iran is being included, and Turkey, come on in, you're friends. You don't like Israel? Okay, fine. Just sign right here. It's going to expose the other ones besides those ones. Those are the top dogs. They probably already know who they are. They got bullseyes right here. That's what I think. That's what I think. 100%. 100%. UAE will be like, woohoo, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I think Bibi and Trump and UAE and whoever the other ones that are like the UAE who love Israel, who know Israel is their land, they know the Jews are the chosen holy people. They know that's their Temple Mount. The EAU knows this. Whoever other Middle Eastern countries knows this about Israel are the good guys. They're Sunni, yeah. But the Sunni Shiite terrorist Sunnis, they don't want them. You got to pretend you're okay with them so that, I just don't know how to explain it, but I think this is how it is. They're saying, come on in, all you hostage takers, you hostagers. We're going to negotiate with you like you're an effing crazy lunatic, psychopath, sociopath, but we're going to pretend like you're normal. We're going to treat you like you're normal until the hostages are free. And we're going to take you out one by one, and everyone who loves Israel over there in the Middle East will be on board with it. They're going to be on board with it, and they're going to help. They're like, we don't like them either. We love the Jews. We love Israel. We hate Gaza. This is the UAE talking. I've shared their clips. They want peace with the Jews. They know the Jews are the smartest, the richest, the whatever. They love the Jews, not just for their money and smarts, but they know who the Jews are. They don't want terrorists anywhere in the Middle East either. And when you're talking to lunatics hostage takers, you have to pretend they're normal. I just keep stressing that. Trump is just a businessman. He is not part of that special ops unit that has to talk down a hostage taker in order to release the hostage so that they don't get murdered. That belongs to a totally different type of specialist. That's some kind of CIA police op. They bring in the big dogs when they need to talk down a hostage taker and get the hostage free without him getting murdered. They don't call in businessmen for that. So you got to appreciate. You need to appreciate Trump. God is guiding him. God is sending him the best help, because Trump is not a hostage negotiator. He's a businessman. But this is a hostage situation. And he's doing a good job. He is like trying to pretend the hostage takers are normal. Yeah, we like you. We want to be your friend. And then they get what they want. They know who's who. And just like they did with Iran, to make them impotent, they're going to do to the rest of the smaller ones, because the smaller ones are all made up of terrorists running them. Because, listen, go back and look at the history anyway. I don't know, but I'm just guessing that before 1979, the Middle East all got along. Probably. Do you think? Papa Reza was there. Gaza was there in 48, so they effed everything up probably. But Hezbollah, Houthis, Hamas, they didn't have a lot of money back then. They didn't have a lot of, they were just building from scratch. And Israel's the one that gave Gaza to them rats. They had it all beautiful over there in Gaza. Beautiful. Just like Israel is now, Gaza was gorgeous. And they go look the history up on that if you don't know. They went ahead and gave it to the thugs, to the demons, because they're always thinking their kindness is going to lead people to repentance, because that's what God teaches, right? That good overcomes evil. They're the ones that taught everybody the Bible and morality. So they're just trying to practice what God taught them. They just don't understand. They just didn't realize where the line is, because sure, that's true what God says, but he doesn't say it to do it to demons. Yeah. And for all I know, maybe they didn't know. They didn't know, but they soon found out, because I think there was old footage of it. I saw, not black and white old footage, but I've seen footage before when they were telling the history, where as soon as they got over there in the beautiful lush, after Israel moved out, drug their people out, they didn't want to leave. It showed the Palestinians beating it down, tearing all the gorgeous stuff down with sledgehammers and stuff. They were ripping it all apart. They were tearing it down because a Jew made it. So they were ripping it all down. And then they get aid from all the countries of the world, and they spend it on tunnels. So if you just look at it as a hostage situation, you got to talk to the hostage taker like they're normal. Then when you get them where you're safe, meaning where it's safe, the hostage is safe, and the whole situation has been neutralized, then you extract the hostage taker. You can do it then. And I totally think that's what this is. And like I said, I made that post of pretty much all of what Trump is doing right now is right here. And maybe we shouldn't talk about it, because maybe, these idiots are spying on us and spying on America, and they're going to hear about all this, and that we're talking that, oh yeah, this is the art of the deal. Trump, they probably already heard that by now, and they're pissed, maybe, but they'd be pissed anyway. They're victims, remember? Perpetual, everlasting victims. But if they have spies that come tell them stuff, they might say things like, oh, first of all, they're going to say, yeah, the Americans, everybody in Israel, they're all worried about what Trump just did. Because they know they're lying to themselves. Like I said about my video last night in my comments, I said, evil people want to brainwash themselves that they're correct to prevent shame or responsibility for being an asshole. Well, it's on steroids with the Iranians, okay? So, darn, where was I going? I'm just saying that this to me is such a miracle that Trump is a businessman. He's not a hostage negotiator. Yet he's doing a fine job as a hostage negotiator right now. Very good job. And that has nothing to do with the art of a deal. Because in the art of the deal, you're dealing with businessmen who can be sociopaths too, I guess, some of them. But Trump, I'm sure, works with a bunch of Jews. So, and they've got like chutzpah, and I'm sure they're kind of shysterish and sharkish. So that's the nature of the beast in business. But and the Jews are probably the best at it. But that's business. That has nothing to do with hostage situations. So Trump is able, and he probably has an advisor on how to talk to hostages for all we know. Maybe he's called in the best, you know how this CSI, yeah, on that CSI, they will have the, whatever the title is of that kind of cop, they go in and they do the negotiating with the hostage person. So that is what it has been to me this whole time. That and the art of the deal. So whenever, you just need to thank God that he's doing that. He's a businessman. He's not the police, the CSI, who knows how to talk down a hostage taker sociopath. But he's doing a really good job in doing it. And that's what I see this new thing as. I just don't understand why all of a sudden. It's so funny how I posted that video. It's like 2 weeks old. And then bam, a day later, it's like Trump. See, this is like how God works with the world. It's like we think we're separate, but we're really not. We're all part of one body, saved, unsaved. We're all pinging off each other and bouncing off each other. And you may think you had that idea first, but then you might see somebody else had it, like, also at the same time. And it's almost like, well, it's kind of like what timing, right? Like you might read about something and then the next day it happens. I mean, it's kind of like that. It's like I heard about that, I shared the video, and then all of a sudden it seemed to be happening. Like Trump decided, oh, let's all get together and do this right now. Quick, hurry, hurry. And I don't know why. Maybe because it's time, but all I know is this is another business deal, another sidestep to make Iran feel like they're okay, that they're winning. Yeah, sometimes you got to make the psycho feel like they're winning. You got to make the whole Middle East think that Israel's going to get annihilated. Oh, yeah. We're so happy. Oh, good. We're all on the same page. We can all be friends. Kumbaya. We're going to get rid of Israel. We're going to have a Palestinian state. We're going to da-da-da. And then 5 minutes later, they're looking at Satan in the face in hell because they just got took out. Like they didn't even know what happened to them, what hit them, and they're gone. That's what I'm thinking. I'm seeing that. I totally see that happening. It's just all the good guys in the Middle East that love Israel and want Israel and they hate Gaza. Trump, Bibi, with the Middle East Israel lovers. Then the Middle East part that is against Jews and Israel. They're all going to gang up on them. We've seen all those movies where the guy is the bad guy and he's standing there all in his pomp and circumstance, arrogant, smirk. He has won. And yet it's the end of the show. And then all of a sudden he's caught. He thinks he's off scot-free. And then all of a sudden, bullet in the head and he's gone. That's how it always works. You always have to let them know, make them think they're winning until they're not winning and not here anymore. That's what I see. I don't think it's scary at all. Trump hasn't lost his mind. Trump hasn't all of a sudden put Israel in danger. Like I said, you got to keep looking at the past year and a half, 2 years. You got to keep looking. Why would God allow Trump in? Why would God why is God giving us such success at the war? Why did we go there in the first? That's a miracle. You have to keep musing. And you guys probably are more political and you can point more things out than I can that were impossibilities that have never happened in 47 years, So, and you have to think Bible. God is against the proud. And I know that for 2,000 years, sure, yeah, this against the proud, whoop-de-doo. No, it's a big deal. In this day and age, with all these miracles happening and all this debauchery rising, it's a very special time. This is a very important time. So when you see the miracles of Trump that God is doing and Bibi and Reza, because what if there wasn't a Reza to fall back on? Iran, we would be like, who is going to take over Iran? But God already had King Cyrus, prophesied back in 2018 when they did made Jerusalem something. So anyway, that's what's going on here. I don't see, I understand you need to, and then so there's spies. So yeah, they are probably thrilled that the Americans and the Israelis are so pissed about these new Abraham Accords. Oh, we're freaking out. Why? And they're going to take that back. They're going to get momentum. And the higher they get puffed up, it's just going to be easier. They're going to get taken out, you guys. Iran is the biggest. Pakistan is tiny. Turkey is tiny. Whoever else is tiny. Yeah. Saudi Arabia is fine with us, too. And the Jews. I think they want a Palestinian state, though. But, just pray. Pray God gives Trump the words with some of these really powerful Middle Eastern countries, if Saudi Arabia wants a Palestinian state, Trump's going to have the words. It's like, no go. Trump might as well say, I'm a Jew. I love the Jews. I work with the Jews in New York. You're not going to annihilate my people. Not going to happen. I'm for Israel. You should have learned that in 2018. I live with the Jews in New York. I grew up with the Jews in New York. I know the Jews. The Jews are my family. Nothing's happening to Israel on my watch. And what I'm doing here in the Middle East is going to be permanent. So get that ugly little thought out of your head about Israel and a Palestinian state, because before the midterms have come and gone, all this will have to be cleared up, because Israel will be free and Gaza is over. It's gone. It's going to be a resort. Okay? There's no more terrorists in the Middle East. Okay? So I don't know if I said anything of substance, but I'm just sharing with you to maybe hopefully get your own juices flowing, because you've got more pieces than I do and more knowledge of politics. And it's similar to the art of the deal, but this is a hostage situation, like I've been saying. It's also, combine it with Trump isn't going to broadcast this, how he's going to get rid of all the Muslims, how he's going to get rid of all these socialist Marxist people, because if he starts mouthing off about it and making threats, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to do, like I said, how Iran would do if you start talking to them like that. They're just going to go kill a bunch of Iranians out of anger. These hotheads are going to start, who knows what they're going to start doing. You got to catch them while they got their back turned, or when they're weak and feel like they're safe, spewing out all this illegal speech. It's illegal speech. It's not freedom of hate speech. No, it's free speech. Not free to say illegal acts of terror upon this country. So they're all going to prison. Plus all these evil Democrats that have been robbing everybody blind and keeping the black people down and fatherless. Yeah, they're responsible for all that death and theft of lives. Lives that could have been something better. That makes me sick. That makes me literally sick to my stomach. And God is going to get him for that. God is definitely going to get him for that. And so Trump isn't going to broadcast every little thing, because he's letting them make their bed. The evidence will be stacking up. And when he's ready to strike, he's got everything he needs, all the proof. Okay? And combine that with cleaning up the Middle East, then everybody's going to be happy and world peace finally. But no, that means no peace is going to be here until Jesus comes at the end of the 7-year trib. But the way I keep saying it, God is going to do a quick work, meaning 2 years, 4 years, last Trump. And he's going to cut it short in righteousness, meaning he's going to cut it all short, meaning rapture. He's going to cut it short in righteousness, meaning we are in the midst of doing righteousness. We have cleaned up all the mess, righteousness. We have righted all the wrongs that we possibly, humanly possible can. We have finished strong. And then the rapture. And then the 7 years of tribulation, because everything, the good that Trump did, they'll probably use it for a while, but they're going to mangle it and they're going to turn it into socialism. I mean, unless God doesn't allow victory and it gets turned into socialism and we still get raptured, because it's going to be like the days of Noah, where everybody's eating and drinking and getting married and being married and planting fields and buying and selling and having a good time. That could be after Trump cleans up all this Middle East, where God is going to do a quick work and cut it short in righteousness at the last Trump. And Trump will be raptured too, because Trump is the king that God set in there to be doing all this stuff. And that's his calling. That's his job. That's his position. And, or if you want to think of it the other way, where none of this gets pulled off. None of it gets pulled off. God gave us a big psych. I gave you all this hope that we're going to annihilate all the terrorists in Iran and the socialists and Marxists, and we're going to clean it all up, and all these illegals that are taking over. No. And God's like, psych. No, Trump's not going to get all that done. I'm going to let the socialists take over. I'm going to let the Islam take over. I'm going to let the world go to hell in a handbasket. And then when it gets real just too bad, we're going to rapture y'all up before the last Trump, And so it could go either way. But to me, it's the last Trump. We're either going to finish strong, where God cuts it short in righteousness, or it'll be, either way, it's like the days of Noah and Lot. Either way you want to go, good or bad. And, if you don't think it's this generation, then what generation do you think it will be? Do you think that generation's going to go, oh, yeah, we're all in agreement here. We're praying for Jesus to come. That's the sign. We're all in agreement that we want Jesus to come. But no, not this generation. We don't want Jesus to come. We're praying that our children can grow up and our grandchildren can grow up, and we don't know what generation it'll be, but we'll just keep pushing it back and praying hard. That's not biblical. That's just so freaking weird. But whatever, everybody's relationship with Jesus is contingent upon how honest you are with yourself. So if, I'll just leave it at that. And yeah, so, I don't know why people would want to push it back generations and generations. That tells me something about their heart, and they mask it with, we want more souls saved. And that's just, if they were really honest and pulled the cover off, it's like they're lying to themselves. But what it really means is they don't want Jesus coming. They want it to be way, way, way down, some other generation, but not mine. And that's not biblical. So, but hey, it's not my relationship, but I know, babe, I'm almost done. Okay, well, I hope this helps somebody. I hope I didn't piss too many people off or bore too many people. But hey, it's my video and you don't have to watch. So, but I love you guys. And yeah, I don't want you to be stressed out, and you don't sound too stressed out. But I hope you don't get more stressed out, because I want you to see what I see. And this is what I see. You may not like the Jesus coming part, but I don't care. I'm just trying to help people feel more comfortable and less, because when you're dealing with crazies, it's going to look a little crazy sometimes. That's all. Okay, bye, and God bless you.